They came for me at dawn, badges flashing, words sharp as knives, claiming I'd broken laws that didn't exist. What they didn't know was that I write the laws they pretend to enforce. This is the story of how a phantom HOA tried to arrest a US Marshal, and how I buried their empire of lies, one forged fine at a time. It started quietly, the kind of quiet that makes you second-guess what's real. A white envelope in my mailbox, logo pressed in gold, Cedar Hills HOA. I remember the way the light hit it, like it was proud of itself. Inside, a letter demanding registration, dues, compliance, and a $250 fine for failing to maintain property aesthetics. I laughed out loud. Aesthetics. I'd moved to Sheridan County, Wyoming, because there were no HOAs here, no one to measure my grass or dictate my life. My lawn was trimmed, my driveway clean, my pickup neatly parked. So what exactly was I failing? The letter went in the trash. I figured that would be the end of it. It was. More envelopes followed, each more absurd than the last. $1,100 for unauthorized exterior modification. $150 for noise disturbance. $200 for failure to submit landscaping plan. All nonsense. And all signed by the same name, Evelyn Mercer, HOA president. At first, I thought it was some kind of clerical mistake. But Evelyn wasn't making mistakes, she was testing me. Probing for weakness. One morning, I found her in my driveway. A tall woman, mid-40s, polished like a lawyer, clipboard in hand. She stared at me like she was appraising a crime scene. "Oh good," she said, "I was hoping to catch you." Her tone was sweet, but her eyes sharp enough to draw blood. "Something you need, Evelyn." She flipped through her papers, holding one up like it was a warrant. "Just a reminder about your unpaid violations." I barely glanced at it. "Evelyn, I'm not part of your HOA." Her smile didn't falter. "Cedar Hills has expectations for neighboring properties too. Everyone should contribute." I laughed. "Fair enough, but let's be clear, I don't answer to you. Stop stuffing my mailbox." Her expression stiffened, a flicker of anger beneath the charm. Then came the line, the one that always means trouble. "I hope you reconsider. You wouldn't want problems." I stepped closer, voice low. "That a threat?" Her laugh was light, fake, a friendly reminder. "Here's mine," I said. "One more fake notice, and I'll file for harassment." She didn't reply, just turned on her heel and walked off, her gold watch catching the sun. I thought that was the end. I was wrong. The next morning, my lawn was littered with garbage. A week later, my mailbox was knocked over. Neighbors began whispering, glancing my way when I passed. Then an old-timer named Walt caught me at the gas station. "Hope you got it sorted out," he said. "Sorted what out?" "Evelyn, been telling folks you've got legal trouble, said you're dodging warrants." I froze. Warrants. HOA politics had turned into slander. That night, another letter arrived. "Final notice, legal action pending. A warrant has been issued for your refusal to comply." I couldn't help but laugh, deep, genuine disbelieving. A fake warrant. This woman had officially lost it. No agency name, no badge number, just her signature. Evelyn Mercer, HOA president. It wasn't just harassment anymore, it was fraud. And she was walking right into a trap. Because she had no idea who she was dealing with. My name, Lucas Grant. And I'm a US Marshal. The next morning, another red notice was taped to my door. Failure to pay fines will result in arrest. I left it there, smiling. Let her play sheriff. I'd been waiting for her next move. Friday morning, they came, two men in matching Navy uniforms, clipboards in hand, plastic badges clipped to their belts. They looked nervous but determined. The taller one spoke first. "Are you the homeowners?" "Who's asking?" I said. "We're with the Cedar Hills HOA Enforcement Division. You've ignored multiple notices." I blinked. Enforcement Division. Evelyn had hired fake cops. "Is that so?" I asked, calm. The shorter man puffed his chest. "We have a warrant for your arrest." I folded my arms. "Let's see it." He hesitated. You got the notice." "No," I said. "Show me the warrant." He exchanged looks with his partner. "It was issued by the board." "The board," I repeated, smiling. "Does the HOA have arrest powers now?" "Silence." I sighed, reached into my jacket, and pulled out my real badge. Not plastic, not shiny tin, federal steel. The color drained from their faces. "You try to detain a federal officer," I said softly, "and I'll have you in cuffs before you hit the sidewalk." The tall one dropped his clipboard. The short one bolted down the street. I didn't chase them. Didn't need to. Because now I had everything I needed. A little digging and the truth unraveled fast. The Cedar Hills Enforcement Division was a scam, Evelyn's creation. She'd been hiring local laborers, printing fake badges, and running a full-blown extortion racket. Every fine, every violation, every arrest notice, all part of her system. If homeowners didn't pay, she seized their property through backdoor deals with a corrupt local judge named Calvin Morse. Morse had been signing off on every seizure, rubber-stamping her lies into law. Together, they stolen hundreds of thousands from terrified residents. But now, they'd targeted the wrong man. I set my trap. Filed a fake compliance request. Pretended I wanted to make peace. Evelyn took the bait instantly, invited me to a so-called formal HOA hearing that Friday. Not at a courthouse, but at a rented community hall. She wanted to stage a show. I planned to end it. I made a few calls, Sheridan County Sheriff, District Attorney, and the U.S. Attorney's Office. They'd been waiting for a solid lead. Now they had one. The hall smelled like dust and perfume when I arrived. Evelyn sat at a long table, flanked by her board members. A wooden gavel rested beside her clipboard, ridiculous, like a child playing judge. Two other homeowners sat quietly in the back, eyes down, victims, no doubt. Evelyn smiled when she saw me. "Glad you made it, Lucas." I sat across from her, wouldn't miss it. She launched into her speech, reciting fake violations, quoting non-existent bylaws. The board nodded dutifully. She kept glancing at the door, waiting. I leaned back, expecting someone, Evelyn. Her eyes flicked to me. "Excuse me. I just figured your enforcement division might show up again." Silence. One board member swallowed hard. Evelyn's smile faltered. "We're conducting official business, Marshal." I cut her off. "You might want to hold that thought." Right on cue, the doors burst open. Sheriff's deputies swept in, followed by Assistant U.S. Attorney Marissa Cole, badge in hand. Evelyn's face drained to white. "Evelyn Mercer," Cole said, voice cold and sharp. "You're under arrest for fraud, extortion, impersonating law enforcement, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud." Evelyn's chair screeched back. No, this is a mistake. You don't understand." "Oh, we understand," I said, standing. "You faked warrants. You sent fake cops. You built a criminal empire out of HOA paper." She looked to her board, desperate. "Do something." But they just sat frozen, hands trembling. The sheriff's men cuffed her as she screamed, mascara streaking down her face. When they dragged her out, the wooden gavel clattered to the floor, a fitting end to her mock authority. In the days that followed, the story spread like wildfire. Homeowners came forward with their own tales, threats, forged documents, fake liens. Evelyn's empire collapsed overnight. The Cedar Hills HOA dissolved. Judge Morse was suspended pending investigation. And those she wronged finally saw justice. Evelyn tried to blame her board, her officers, everyone but herself. But the evidence spoke louder: bank transfers, fake letterheads, victim statements. She wasn't untouchable anymore. She was just another criminal who thought fear could buy silence. Now when I drive past the empty Cedar Hills sign, I think about how power warps people, how control, when left unchecked, turns to corruption. Evelyn Mercer learned that the hard way. Her grand house sits vacant now, curtains drawn, grass overgrown, for sale to no one. As for me, I still keep her last letter. Not as a trophy, as a reminder. Because in a world full of fake authority, sometimes the only real law is the one that stands quietly waiting until it's pushed too far. That was today's tale from Hoa Tales. Thank you for listening. If this story touched you, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.